Hey everybody, I am here today and decided I wanted to talk about a pretty tough topic in the Black community and maybe other communities, but it is kind of, I'm Black, so we're going to talk about what I feel that we have a lot of issues with. And it's spanking. It's a pretty big deal in our community. We kind of resort to that type of behavior. But I remember in my 20s making a conscious decision that when I have kids, I'm just not going to do that. That's just not my thing. I don't want to do it. I didn't like it when I was a kid. I don't think it helped me at all. I think, if anything, it hurts, inside and out. So that's when I made my decision. But, out of pressure from a lot of different people, it was like, you have to, you should, blah, blah. That kind of started kind of trying it out, if you will, that's just a horrible way to say it. But yeah. But then I recommitted myself to this is not me. I was taken back to, my earliest memory when I made this decision in my 20s. I think about this time in my life where I realized that spanking was more about ego than rational thought. It was definitely it was more ego driven on the parent side of the issue than rational thought. So, get to the story. I was probably in middle school, and I remember my father specifically saying, do not leave the neighborhood. Stay here. You can ride your bike around the neighborhood, whatever, just stay here, don't leave. I'm like, fine. It's easy. No big deal. I mean, I was a pretty good kid. I wasn't, it's whatever. A lot of my friends were on the block anyway, so it's like, it was cool. So my dad leaves, and of course, my sister, that's only 11 months older than me, she took off. She took off, and she took out her bike, and she went, and she's like, I'm going to the store. I was like, didn't you hear the same instructions that I heard? Do not leave. So she left. So I see her go. I was like, no, she's joking, right? So I'm watching her go further and further through the cul-de-sac. I'm like, okay. I'm calling for her. She's not coming back. Is she for real right now? So she turns the corner. She cuts through. We had like this little kind of breezeway that went through the cul-de-sac going into the next neighborhood. And she turns that corner. She's gone. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What in the world do I do right now? I'm like, what if somebody kidnaps my sister? Am I not supposed to just like try to get her to come back, try to help her, try to what would I tell my parents? Like, I don't know where she is. She just disappeared one day. So I started to feel that sisterly responsibility, which, thinking about it when I was an adult, thinking about it, like, I would want my child to do that. Like, no, if something happens to her, I want a witness. I need you to go try to help your sister, try to defend her, whatever. Do what you can. So me and my best friend, we went after her. And we rode our bikes, and I was like, okay, God, Grandpa, I need to know where to go to find her. So we're riding our bike. We cut through the neighborhood. I don't see her. Make the next turn. I still don't see her, right? I'm like, oh my God. So I'm panicking, and I'm riding my bike, and then I turn. I was like, there she is, right? We see her going down. We ride down, and we catch up with her. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You need to come back home. She said, I'm just going to the store, like right around the corner. I'm good, I was like, oh, this is so bad. This is really bad, right? So she makes it to the store. We follow her to the store. She goes inside. She gets her bag of candy, and we make it back home. No drama, right? Everything is fine. Everybody made it back in one piece. And she goes into the den. She's sitting there. She eats her candy, whatever. And we're in bed. We're sleeping. This is late at night. My father he got home from work. And he does that when he knocks on the door. He wasn't that, like, okay, yes, what do you want? No, you hear that knock, you get your butt out of the bed, right? And get to the room. Mosey on and get to the room and stand there at attention, and you wait to find out what he wanted, right? So, okay. So I'm in there. We're all three of us were standing up there, and there's that little tiny brown bag. I was like, did this have to really leave that brown bag for us to get caught? Like, she really left it. And so he got, he was upset. You should have, I told y'all not to go anywhere. Where'd you get this brown bag from? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, this is what happened. And I went through the whole spiel and told him what happened. You shouldn't have went to the, I told you. I was like, are you hearing me right now? In my head, that's what I said. Because I would have not been here right now if I'd have said that out loud. But I was like, what was I supposed to do? Not go look for my sister? Not go make sure that she was okay, that nobody was trying to snag my sister or whatever? Like, I didn't buy any candy. She did. I just went to go look for her. Me, my sister, and my friend got our behinds beat for going to the store, for leaving the area. So, in my adult life where I was going back and thinking about these ridiculous things, I realized, like, what was the person? That was ego. That wasn't like I listened and I tried to make sense of the situation. Okay, you know what? Yeah, your sister, she about to get it. But I understand the position that you were put in. So you can go back to bed. So this was all about, I told y'all not to do this, and now y'all gonna get it. Whatever. Right? And then as I grew up, people were telling me you need to, they talk back to you, they do this, you're supposed to, spare the rod, you gotta spank your kids, you have to do that. And then one day, my child was being bullied at school. And my child has autism. So I had to, she didn't come out and say it, but it was something that she said that didn't kind of sit right with me. So I said, listen, anybody ever put their hands on you, you grab them, you beat the mess out of them. I will deal with the consequences later. Don't let anybody abuse you, put their hands on you, hurt you, whatever. So you fight, you kick, you scream, you whatever you gotta do, and do it. And that day at school, when those kids started bullying her, she handled her business. And I was proud of her. But then a few months later, I was about to I popped her for doing something. And she looked at me like with this, question, on her face, but she had never looked at me like that before, and it went through my entire spirit. Like, I violated her. Like, you just told me that nobody would hurt, like, people that would hurt you should be beat the hell down. But then you do the same. Like, how is that different? And it's like all of those words went through my head as she was looking at me, and she kind of stepped back and was kind of looking at the whole me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I felt that. And it just, oh my God, it got to me so deep. I have not spanked her since. I get angry. I get mad, but she don't listen. But when you're trying to teach discipline, you gotta be disciplined, right? When you're trying to make them do right, you gotta do right, and that's just it. We have to stop perpetuating that slave break you down attitude, slave master break you attitude, because we're not trying to break our kids. We're trying to teach them. We're trying to discipline them. We're trying to encourage them to do the right thing. So we got to do the right thing. We have to go the extra mile ourselves to be disciplined. We can't teach them how to speak to us if we don't speak to them the right way. It goes both ways. Just because they're children, people think that we don't have to respect kids. You have to respect your children because that's how they learn to respect you. Children, you are just a mirror. It's a mirror between the two of y'all. They are going to reflect whatever you give. So if you speak to them with no respect, how do you expect to get respect back? You have to teach them what it's like to be respected. And she come out of pocket, they'll say what kind of whatever, but it's like, okay, all right, now I want you to talk to me. You flipping out right now. You don't want to listen. You don't want to do. Why? You need to talk to me, because that's what the world is. The world is not going to take the time to teach your children how to respond in situations. They're not going to take time to teach them how to communicate to people, how to be a disciplined human being. They're not going to take the time. They're just going to serve your kid. Life is just going to serve them, right? So it's up to us to teach them how to be good human beings. And I'm sorry, beating on them, knocking them into submission is not teaching them anything but how to do the same thing to their own children. And then here we go again. Ain't nobody learn not a damn thing about how to communicate with each other. We have to be good family members. Before we good to anybody outside the house, we got to be good family members. We have to learn how to talk to each other. We have to learn how to respect each other in our family, under our roof. Okay, you got to do right by you first. You're surrounded, your people, before you can go out into the world. And then you have your own family, and you wonder why you got people leaving their kids behind, not taking care of their kids, not taking care of their families, not caring. Where's the example? All we did was beat them out of them. Right? Now, your kid try to run out into the street, you may have to snatch them up. I'm just saying. But there is no reason why you have to do this whole, orchestration of let me take out the belt and, lay across the bed or lay across my lap or stand over here, take your pants off, let me spank you, this and that level of humiliation. What is that doing? You're humiliating somebody that you love. Think about that. Like, would you stay married to somebody that humiliated you every day? That made you feel worthless? That made your body feel pain? It seemed like a no-brainer to me. We have to just learn how to communicate with our kids and with adults. But adults don't know how to communicate with each other because they didn't learn how to do it. So it is my job for myself and as a parent to step back and say, okay, how can I handle this situation in a better way so that they know how to get a grip in a stressful situation, so that they know how to gather themselves when they're stressed out and they about to lose it or they're acting up, or learn how to say, you know what, Mom, this is why I want to do this. You know, I told you to go to bed. You need to go to bed now. Get into bed. Why not? Why not? Why not? And then you want to go grab the belt. No, how about saying, okay, why are you even trying to stay up later than you know what's going to happen? You know you're going to want to, get that extra amount of sleep and not going to get out of bed in the morning. What are you trying to do? And then you ask, then you find out. Yeah, I'm scared, or I want to, can I finish reading this book? Can I finish watching the last few episodes, the last few minutes of the show? How difficult is that? And you made yourself get high blood pressure. You done abused your kids over 3 minutes extra of a TV show. I mean, really, what? Talking, learning to communicate, and teaching your children that you respect them, that you love them, and when you love somebody, you don't abuse them. That's it. I mean, I used to witness my brother being beat so badly over dumb stuff. Come on, Black people. We can't do that same mess that we received. Like, how you gonna take that same behavior? You watch these movies, you watch Roots, and you watch all this stuff, and you watch all this horrible stuff, and then you go and you do that same stuff under your own roof and just wail on them and expect them to know how to function. Send them to school with bruises all over. Shame, holding their head down, feeling their bodies feeling worthless. Where are they supposed to feel value from when you just beat on them? I mean, really. So I'm sure anybody can benefit from what I said. They may agree, they may not agree, whatever. But I'm speaking to my people because spanking has a deep rooted connection to all of us, because that's what happened to us, and it has to stop, and it's gonna stop with us. It's got to stop with us. I don't want my children to be beating on my grandkids when I have them. No, I want them to learn how to communicate. And it's a process. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because it's not, because oh my gosh, sometimes it be taking you there. And you like, but then what are you doing? Like, okay, I spanked them. Now they're afraid, and now they're just going to figure out some other way to do it so that you don't know. Spanking does not fix anything. It doesn't. It hurts. How does love supposed to hurt? Why should it hurt? Is it supposed to hurt? It is not. Okay? It's not. So we got to do better. We have to do better. We have to learn our own selves how to communicate. Okay? I just really felt it in my spirit to share that tonight, probably because, my daughter kind of took me there today, and I was just like, remember your commitment. Remember what you're trying to do. You're trying to teach her how to pull herself back, think rationally, how to love her brothers and sisters, her parents, how to be thoughtful and kind, and how to think through things, how to, how to talk to us respectively, because that's how I'm communicating to her. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're here to do. Okay? So you guys have a wonderful night, and comment below. Let's talk about it. I'm here for it. I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of mixed comments, but I just wanted you to hear my take on it, and it's worked for me. It's working. Like I said, there are times, but I have a 16-year-old gets good grades at school. She's not a problem. I mean, you have 16-year-old moments, but I've never spanked her. Never. And I'm not saying that I have not wanted to, but I can say that learning to communicate with her has been a process that has changed me, into a better person. And now all of my 4 children are reaping the benefits of my learning process. All right, so I love you guys, and take care and be your best.